In this video, we're going to learn about Pythagorean Theorem. You should have had exposure to Pythagorean Theorem in 8th grade. I'm not sure to what extent you covered it. You probably solved problems, but not really with any numbers that are super complicated, just standard numbers. And you probably had a calculator when you did it. So today we're going to talk about how to do that without a calculator and how to get exact answers. So just a quick review. Pythagorean Theorem is a relationship between the sides of a right triangle. And the theorem itself is this formula: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And if you ask your parents if they remember anything about high school math, most people recognize this. They don't necessarily remember what it means, but this is a kind of a common math formula. So let's talk about what it does actually mean. A and B, these are all sides of the triangle, A, B, and C. So A and B are both the legs of the triangle. And C is the hypotenuse, Hypothenuse, hypotenuse. So a few things to note. One, this is for right triangles. So remember, it only works if you have a right triangle, and a right triangle is indicated by this little box right here in the corner. It means it has a 90-degree angle. So the legs are these two, the sides that create the right triangle. And it doesn't matter which one is A or B. Those can switch back and forth. That makes no difference. C, however, is very important. C is the hypotenuse, and so it is the side that is across from the right angle. And it's very important that you know which one is C. Sometimes I think about it as if like the right angle itself is pointing towards the hypotenuse. Another thing to note is that C is always the longest side, the longest part of the triangle. That distance should always be the furthest. All right, so let's look at how we solve 3 examples. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we know that our formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And I know that it will work here because I have a right triangle. So the most important side I just said was the hypotenuse. So I'm going to identify that first. So some of you might do better if you draw an arrow, but the hypotenuse here is this side, which is 13. And then 5 can be either a or b. So I'm just going to plug this in here. 5 is here, 5 squared plus, I don't know the bottom, so I'm going to call it b squared equals 13 squared. Now, these are numbers that you should know. 5 squared is 25, plus I don't know b squared yet, so I'm just going to call that b squared. And then 13 squared is 169. And now I'm trying to solve for b right here, right? I want to get this part by itself. So to do that, I'm going to subtract 25 from both sides. Whoops, minus 25. And I get then that b squared is equal to 144. Now, that's what b squared equals. And to undo squared, and so you may want to make a note of this, to undo squared, I need to use square root. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides, and that's going to mean that b here equals 12, because the square root of 144 is 12. And what that means then is at the bottom part of this triangle, if we were to write this on the picture, the bottom part of this triangle is 12 units long, right? If it's 5 inches, 13 inches, then that bottom one is 12 inches. And that should check out because it does still prove that this 13 is the longest number as far as the different sides of the triangle. Okay, let's look at another one. So again, we just said that we need to start by identifying where the hypotenuse is. So on this one, the hypotenuse is the side that I don't know. All right, so this is a squared. So I'm going to call 4a. Oh, sorry, my pen stopped working. All right, and then 6b. Okay, so 4 squared plus 6 squared equals c squared, because I don't know what c is. So I'm going to work this out. This is, wow, pretend I didn't do that. This is 16 plus 36 equals c squared. I can actually add those together, 16 and 36. They're on the same side. So that's going to give me, let's see, what is that? 52 equals c squared. And now, just like we said, to get c by itself, I'm going to take the square root. Now, c does equal the square root of 52. but I need to simplify that down further. So I'm going to go back to what we've been doing, simplifying radicals. So I'm going to try to find a perfect number that goes into 52, and I actually know that that's 4. 4 is my perfect number. 4 times 13 is what gives me 52. And hopefully you can process ahead of how I'm talking. The square root of 4 there is going to be 2. So you should have 2, square root 13 is C, which means this side right here has a length of 2 square root 13. Okay, let's look at one more. All right, so on this last one, this should hopefully, this looks a little bit more confusing to you. I mean, not hopefully, but it should. We are still going to start in the same place. We're going to identify the hypotenuse, which is this value down here. So this is my C. I don't know one of my other sides, so I can call it A or B. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to have the square root of 5 squared. I guess I don't necessarily have to, yeah, I'm going to write that with parentheses. All right, so the square root of 5 squared plus B squared, because see, I don't know what this B, this leg is, right? Equals 6 square root of 3 squared. So I hope that you, if you don't understand where I'm getting those numbers, you need to pause the video and make sense of where that's coming from. This is A, B, and C. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay, so a few things to note. You can kind of think about this a few ways, but when something is squared, that means it's happening 2 times. So if I like zoom in for a second and just kind of focus on this value, the square root of 5 squared means the square root of 5 and the square root of 5 2 times. Well, that's the square root of 25 because they're both inside, right? And the square root of 25 is 5, okay? Now, let's look at this other one. Okay, this is going to mean 6 square root of 3 times 6 square root of 3. That's what it means to have this value squared, is you have it written 2 times. Well, if we think about what we've done recently, this is 6 times 6 times square root of 3 times square root of 3. Well, 6 times 6 is 36. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is going to be square root of 9. And square root of 9 is 3, so this is 36 times 3. And that's going to give you 108. Okay, so let's zoom out then. And if you have questions about that, please put a star in your notes and remind me that we need to look at that first thing when you come in. Talk about like squaring things that have radicals in them. Okay, so at this point, our problem should say 5 plus B squared equals 108. All right, I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So B squared is going to equal 103. And then I'm going to take the square root. And unfortunately, I do not think anything goes into 103, so B is going to equal the square root of 103. And that would be your final answer there.